I've decided to start taking out the Guinea's allies, starting with the chickens. So I have to deploy my scent ordnance chicken killer. All I have to do is let just one chicken get a huge whiff and they become a carrier. Once they go back to the coop with all the others, boom! The whole thing becomes flame broiled chicken McNuggets. Today, I want to talk to you about the moon, or more accurately, the portal to the next dimensions. That's right, boys. All the things you were taught in government school were a lie. Why do you think we never went back after the Apollo missions? You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because if it got out what old Buzz and Neil did up there, it would cause pandemonium. Have you ever heard of Werner von Braun? He was a Nazi scientist that was sent down to Earth from another intelligent species who have a base camp on the dark side of the moon. When Werner was Nazi and he would have Jewish workers in his lab, every night he would find the lowest performer and hang them outside the lab, so when workers came in the morning, they would know to work harder than the next guy. After the war, he sent Hitler to the moon to escape execution. Then he moved to America and started a little organization. You might have heard of it. NASA. The reason he started NASA is so Americans could get to the moon safely and negotiate the return of Hitler. But when they got there, their plans changed. The aliens showed the astronauts what the score really was. They have bases all over the Earth. They only let us exist because the moon is a good place to have a portal in and out of different dimensions. Shh! Did you hear that? Either the Guineas are trying to recruit more cats, or someone is using a garbage disposal. I think it's a disposal. Back to what I was saying. The aliens only allow us to live because they put a portal on the moon and they don't want to give it up by destroying our planet. So when Buzz and Neil went up there, they were given two options. Try to destroy the aliens and face certain death, or leave and never come back. Those pussies chose to never come back. What they should have done was strap up and call the posse, but they came back to Earth with their tail between their legs. But they did bring back gifts. The aliens gave us tinfoil and microwaves. Don't believe me? Look it up. For now, stay vigilant, stay prepared, and never ever let a Nazi sympathizing alien set up a black site on your land. Panic Prepper 1, out!
You're gonna need that.
Cat and Guineas. Look at this. Panic Prepper 1 here, undisclosed location. Cats. Cats just watching it happen. Cats. Just letting them in the wire. Enemies in the wire. Cats. Cats are clearly in on it. Look at here. The cat just met up with the Guineas. They're in on it too. See? You can't trust no one. Panic Prepper 1, undisclosed location. Look at that. Will you look at it? See the cat with the Guineas? Do you see him? There's another cat right there. Cat. Cat. Just had a meetup. What's going on there? Look. Can you see it? Panic Prepper 1, undisclosed location. The PP1 compound. Look at here. I thought that was bugs, but it's a white rabbit that they've gotten dirty so that we would think it was bugs. They must have abducted him and substituted him, and this one will report back. Be aware. They've even got the rabbits, boys. PP1 out. Did you see the interview that's been going around recently? Some old footage of something. One of the astronauts. Why did we go to the moon? He's like, we didn't actually go to the moon. He actually said it. Yeah, there's a few different videos.
I've seen stuff where like it was the other guy, not Neil Armstrong or Buzz Aldrin, the guy that stayed in the craft orbiting. Like right when he first came back, he said that there was no stars, and then like a year later, he said how great the stars looked.
Were, yeah. They had them both. They had two of the astronauts actually on like a couch or two chairs on an interview set, and they fucking both contradicted each other left and right.
Yeah, like that's one of those things. Like I know they fucked around. That's the guy who created NASA. He was known for hanging somebody or multiple people every night when he was a Nazi
in the camps.
Yeah, for not doing good enough work.
So he was actually heavily involved in Disneyland.
Yeah, well, they say Disney was a Nazi, like Walt Disney.
Oh, an American Nazi, like
Yeah.
like marching in Times Square and shit.
I don't know if he was public. Like
Nazi
same thing
party.
with like Henry Ford. Like he used to have like anti-Semitic reading material in every Ford dealership.
Well,
and shit like that.
Henry Ford went to Germany like over 24 times.
Really?
Yeah, and IBM, the fucking head people from IBM, General Motors, the head guys from General Motors were over there. One of the fucking president or vice president had gone over several times to while we were at war with them.
I always thought that it was weird that people didn't know because Coca-Cola makes Fanta.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that's
because of the embargo.
Yeah, they went over there to make it for Nazis, and then now that all that's over, they brought it back.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that.
So if you have any interest in any of this stuff we're talking about, there's a book called IBM and the Holocaust, and it's very, very worth listening to. Unfortunately, it's not on audiobooks, but if you search IBM and the Holocaust, one video will come up that you'll find, and I want to say it's an hour or 90 minutes, and it's an interview with the author, and he talks about all of this, and he has supporting factual evidence behind all of it. It is fucking mind-blowing. Yeah, it just shows you how we will go to war with another country, but our wealthiest people will remain friends and still do business. Like the ovens, you'll search now and it'll say that it'll say it's not false information. The ovens used at the camps were not made in Ohio. They were in fact made in Ohio, and this guy talks about that as well. International Business Machine. They had an IBM cataloging machine. It's a punch card machine that actually would punch and catalog the Jews, and it had 5 categories. And they had a 10,000 square foot building, which is the size of the base of this building here that we're in. And they had an IBM machine or 2 IBM machines in a 10,000 foot building at every one of the Nazi camps where they were holding prisoners. And that's how they were able to fucking catalog them so quickly.